When you're ready to start your watercolors, you're going to have a watercolor tray like this. You're going to need a cup of water with a few different sizes of paintbrushes depending on the areas that you need to get into. And then you're going to need some paper towels. So I'm going to start with a wet on wet technique. And I also I'm going to use a larger brush for this, because I'm going to be working on the body of him. And when I'm doing this, don't be afraid to use multiple colors at once. Don't mix the colors together, but don't be afraid to create like a gradient, like go from a dark to a light or a different color to another color. So I'm coming in and I'm just putting water right now in the area that I'm going to be working on. That's what the wet in wet is. And then I'm going to choose my color with my wet brush. I'm going to re-wet it a little bit. I'm going to grab some paint and I'm going to stick to those warm colors to paint inside of his body too. And I'm going to come in and you're going to notice when you put that wet on wet, it really just flows throughout the water there. And I'm just going to stick to this head area right now. Now I might add in just another different color to make it a little more interesting. So I've got that color first. I might come in and add maybe like an orange. The more times you go into the paint, the brighter it's going to be. So it just depends on what you want it to look like. How light or how dark. I think I'm going to rinse my brush off. I think I want to do this light orange inside of this area. And you'll notice that I did a wet on wet here, so I put the water first and then I put the watercolor. And here I just did the watercolor on a dry. So I added wet paint to a dry surface, and you can see how much darker it is. The oil pastel is preventing the colors from going into each other. It kind of has a barrier, so they can't flow together. I'm going to go a little brighter with the pink now, maybe around his eye. If it does go over the oil pastel and you don't love it, you can always kind of pull some of it off and move it around. And I'm going to leave that eye alone for now. I don't want to fill it in yet. And I'm going to start some other warm colors out here. And I'm trying to stick to those brighter colors. So I'm going to stick to these lighter. I didn't really love the way that orange looked. So I'm going to stick to these lighter oranges. Looks like I forgot a little area of line right here. So I need to go in with an oil pastel and get that in there. And I'm just going to go ahead. Whoops, I think I want to do a wet on wet for the whole body. So I'm going to go ahead and lay some water down real quick because I forgot to do that. I'm going to put some water in the next area that I'm going on because I want to do that wet and wet technique on the whole body. I have color on there because I accidentally put it on there before I was ready to start. And that's okay. I just kind of pulled it through and painted fast now. And I think I'm going to add some yellow to that. Brighten it up a little bit. So that's like the main top of his body. And go ahead and go over that oil pastel so you fill in any holes that are there too. And then I think I'm going to go back to those other warm colors, like maybe the pinks again, to do some of like his under areas. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the top areas. So this is the top of another arm. I'm putting down some water. Think like this is part of the top of the arm. So I'm going to put some water down there. And then I'm going to grab some more of that yellow. I need to vary it up a little bit there. I'm going to add some orange to this section so that it breaks up that yellow. You're just playing with the colors. Just try to stick to ones that are going to look good together if they blend. That's why I'm sticking to warm colors. It makes it a little easier.